Peace everyone. I just wanted to put this camera on for the first time, make my first video. Really chill video. It's just gonna be me talking about the law of attraction. If you want to make your reflection beautiful, you have to make the inside beautiful. That's just facts. I mean, you can't look in the mirror and just be like, what the hell's wrong with this reflection? Because that's all the world is. It's a reflection of you and energy. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I actually have a friend, and he's on that same level with me, but you know, he's still learning about it, and he was telling me about it the other day, that he was visualizing like himself in his Lamborghini, living his perfect life with this perfect girl, and he told me all that, and he just said he did that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He didn't tell me like, oh, like, why didn't it happen? He wasn't complaining, but he just told me that's what he did for 10 minutes before he went to bed, and that's all he does. And I kind of was just like, well, I mean, if it was that easy, don't you think we would all just be doing that? You know, it's more of like, your mind doesn't know future, past. It only knows this present moment. And it's not saying just like, oh, I have a Lamborghini, I have a Lamborghini. It's more of symbols that your brain picks up, and these feelings that your heart picks up, and they collide for you to create a path. And basically, you have to treat yourself right, or else you're gonna get these lower vibrational paths. And what I mean by that is it does mean you will have to eat less meat, but really no meat. Because I realized I tried to do, okay, I'm gonna eat meat sometimes, but then when I was feeling really high vibration and good energy just like in my veins, and then I would eat lunch, just go eat like a sandwich, like ham, lunch meat, not even just like cooked, just like, I mean, it's cooked, but you know what I mean. And then I can just feel my vibration go down, and me feel tired, rather than sometimes I would even skip lunch because I knew it would just bring me down, and just eat like an orange. And that would sustain me for the whole day. I'd be fine. And I didn't realize that these foods are actually bringing you down. And okay, here's the thing about it. No matter what you want to believe, energy can't die. It can only be transferred. And when they're torturing these animals and keeping them in the way that they're kept, they're not in good captivity, You're getting all this energy that comes with it. It's just a factor. It's just something that happens, because it's almost like the vibe you get in a room. You walk in and you're like, something's up in here, and you know something was up because the energy that you felt from the room. It's not even, sometimes, I mean, yeah, the looks of people's faces, but you get that feeling in your heart like, whoa, something's wrong. No one said anything. It's just like that. All these are feelings, and it's, when you break it down, it's a frequency, it's a vibration, and that might be way overused, but it's not said enough. Everything is energy, everything you look at, and just believing it's not is just gonna give you a reality of the same things. And that's another thing about manifesting, is you have to break routine and start listening to your intuition. I don't know about you, but whenever I get a choice, I'm either in this mood of, yeah, let's do it, or I'm kind of lazy, let me do my own thing. And my intuition will almost tell me, hey, you should do that, or you kind of need time to work on yourself. And for some reason, growing up, I always did the opposite. Like, that's like my dad coming in, or that's like, I grew up Christian, so that's like this guilt I have of not being a perfect Christian child, like telling me don't do this. But I've learned that that's my intuition. And a good way I like to really think about this, just putting this all in perspective for you to show how the past and the future are all happening simultaneously, is if you think about your memories and how real those feel when you get lost into it. That is genuinely like your past. You're looking into the past and you can feel like you're there, or you can talk about the past and you can recreate the past. That's very easy. You really just, it's patterns, it's puzzles. And you know what the picture's gonna look like at the end. It's an easy puzzle. It's when you do something different is when it breaks the puzzle and you're able to build your own puzzle. You're able to draw your own picture. That's the way I always like to think about it, is you can either put together a puzzle that you already have seen, you've already seen the cover, you know what's gonna happen. It's just like a movie. You can watch it, but then once it's done, what are you gonna watch it again? Why? You know what I mean? It's really easy to put these material things into perspective because, we all are all connected. We can, the metaphors are for days, but it's really easy to see like that. You can either draw your own picture or you can recreate a puzzle that someone else made. And you know what? All these ideas that we get are from other people. We see in movies, as growing up, we see this way to act and we embody that. But it's not who we are. And this is what this journey here on life is figuring out who you are and living in your passion. That's another thing about manifesting. If you're not in your passion, if you're not in this love frequency, or it not just being like, oh, I love everything, I love the sky, I love the flowers, even though in an ideal world that's probably how it'd be, but it's mostly just about appreciating what you have. And I always try to think of, I just bought myself a car recently, got a very good price for it, and it's the car I've always wanted. It's a Jaguar. It's a S-Type 3.0, and I've always wanted this as a kid. It kind of stuck with me. It has like a classic cool look, and I've always wanted to fix it up, restore a cool car, and that's what I'm doing right now. And it's not that I asked for this car. It's more of that I was vibrating at a very high frequency that it gave me one of my dreams. And you know what, it's funny to think about because it was kind of an old dream. Like that was when I was about, I was young. I was like 13 growing up, 15 wanting to do this, wanting to get this Jaguar. And I told my dad this. I would always talk about it. And it's weird that this is the one thing that manifested, because I realized how after I'd grown a certain age, I stopped living my life. I started living other people's lives and manifesting things in their lives and kind of going through these paths. But it almost felt like that was the only dream I had, was this car, because I was so on the autopilot mind. And that's the thing you want to really avoid, and that's how you recreate patterns. You don't get anything new. I mean, it's like the definition of insane. You're trying to do the same thing to get different results. That's insane. And that's another thing I like to say to people too. Like, they see you doing something different, and it's like, why are you doing the exact same thing? In definition, that is insane. I'm gonna hit the hay. I'll see you later. Peace.